Hi everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Hi Sleepy Sheepathars. Did this happen to you yesterday too? Yesterday or on the stream yesterday, someone else said the same thing about being scared because a tab was open. Hi Joe Maxro. Alright, Linda O'Malley in this stream too? Cool. Hi Spoilicious. Welcome everybody. So I thought I would start off today by fixing one of the bugs I saw on Discourse, which was that custom buildings cannot have the same name as the building templates that come with the game. So we should fix that. And then I wanted to start on trying to implement one of the quality of life improvements, I guess I'll call it that, for building. We want to try looking into possibly removing the wood requirement for scaffolding and for ladders, and see how that feels. Yes, good reference. So let's start out with fixing that bug. It'll be in building templates.js, and see here where you load custom templates. What happens is we have a template name to map, and I think the template header name is going to be the name of the template, but if you look at, but the name of the template is just a simple name, just like if you work in building templates, like here, this is building templates, and then you can have a clay dining room, and the name here is just called clay dining room, right? Jamaxer says, how would that work? Will scaffolding just magically appear when a Hearthling places it? The way I imagine it would be that the Hearthling would still have to go and like hammer to make the scaffolding appear, but you no longer have to pick up a piece of wood first to be able to hammer. Like, you would just be able to hammer it, walk across, and then it would appear. So, yeah, let's get to doing that. I think we can already... Do we already have template header? So we can have a selected template. What happens when we select a template? Let's see. When we update the selected template, we on click of a row in the selected template, we get the template name of that selected template, and then we back look up what the actual file is for that template. So what does that look like? So for each tab and template tabs, if the tab is visible, then we iterate through all the tab categories. If the category is visible, then we iterate through all the template headers in that category. And if the template is not locked, then we will want to bind an attribute template.name. Okay, so we should probably just change this guy to be something different. And I have an idea for that, which is to just generate a random string for just generate a random integer for it. I mean, we don't actually need to, we just need to backmap it, so it's not actually that imperative that it have the same name. The other thing we could do is make this a category. So we can do category display name in template tab category. So categories camp in category for each category in template tab categories. Yeah, we could also concatenate the category with the template header, and then it will be guaranteed to be the same template. Although you can actually back map a dining hall. You can actually put in templates into the custom tab, and that custom tab, that template will show in the custom tab in addition to the custom templates the person used. So it is possible for a mod to add items into the custom tab category. I decided to do that just because I thought it would be cool. Jamaxor says, do you need to have wood at all? This would be really beneficial to RC who don't have much wood. Yeah, I was thinking you probably don't need wood at all then. It would be slightly less realistic, but it would make building faster, and I do think we could benefit from having building be faster. Wrong. Acacia is a wrong type of tree. Acacia is a tree. It's fine. So what am I thinking? Maybe I'll just go with a random floor integer for now, just so, I mean, the chances of the integers being the same are quite small. So what we could do is just generate an ID for everything. Ember dot set template header ID equals ID, and then back map it. So then here, instead of template, we do template ID equals template dot ID. And then we need to put this in another place as well, because there's two ways you can add. Nope, it looks like there's only one way to add it. Equals template header. Okay, so then when we try to get the template attribute back, so instead of template name we will do template ID, correct, and then template ID, it's not template ID, self.name, template ID equals template, so that's like the template. Okay, let's see if this works. So we want the main mod be Stonehearth tests, and we want, what's the Stonehearth test that's running? Which one of these is uncommented? It'll be Potter test. Good enough. JJ Shab says, can we add the 3 brick types to stairs? What are the 3 brick types? I'm confused. You can make brick stairs if that's what you mean. Okay, so this looks like it's still selecting, which is a good sign. This one's also selecting. So let's create, let's put down a custom lodge. Whoa, that's really big. Weaver's Hut 3. And then we'll save this as pottery Studio. I believe that was the reproducing steps. So now we have Pottery Studio, which looks like this, and then Rise Children, which has a Pottery Studio, which looks like this. And this one still gives us the correct one. Easy peasy. I think that was done. I think that's good. So all of these are still working. Yep, they're still good. Spoolicious says that's both horrific and fantastic. Alright, what are you guys talking about? JJ Chef says college or you learn coffee is its own food group. Jamaxero says in Ian.json looks like stone chair description is missing a T. Stone chair for sitting. Outdoorsy. Spelling error in that page doesn't exist or is private. There we go. Spelling error. The word comfortable is missing the T. Okay. Comfortable? Okay, there we go. Comfortable. Got it. JJ Shop says bricks for the rows, red brick, yellow brick, something else. They're the last three colors and brick types and they're missing from stairs. Ah. Okay. So that is a pattern. And patterns are something special. We could have patterns for stairs as well. We just need to hook them in, I believe. So the way we would do that, which is I need to first check in this change. So is this the right change I want to have? What's the probability that we will get an ID that is there a GUID generation? JavaScript GUID. So the reason why I want a UUID is because it needs to be universally unique. What we could do to make this a little bit less likely to collide, my concern is that this will collide with the other one, is we make the ID equal math.floor plus the name of the template header, like that. And that will make it so it's even less likely that you will have two templates that have the same ID. Yeah, there we go. Potter Studio, Weaver's Hut, Carpenter House. Carpenter House again. Okay. So let me stage this, and then I will commit it. Add a random number to template name, so that we can have templates with the same name but referencing different templates with the same name in different categories. Okay, and then in .json, this one fix for spelling error in stone chair recipe. What was I thinking about? I was gonna do something else after this. I think we can now get to the next thing I wanted to do. Oh, JJ Chef wanted the 3 bricks, so that would be in building brushes. If we look at floor, it's part of floor, isn't it? Where's this slab? Wall, column, pattern. So here's the pattern for this voxel. So here's the always available colors, and then here's the patterns. We have floor .js, draw floor tool. We create a tool, and then we pass in the pattern for this brush. So why don't we see the patterns in the stairs? So here's clay brick stairs, here's the stone. If we go here, we see the patterns for the stone slab. If we go here, we don't see the patterns for stone stairs. It is because stairs.json, or no, it is a different tool. So the way our game works in determining, you know, which these tools are is actually we have different tools in the building designer JavaScript file. So here's the draw stairs tool, and so where do we populate the brushes.voxel, brushes.stairs. We don't want brushes.stairs, we want brushes.pattern. So here, if we refresh this, and then we go here for stairs. Yay! Now there's patterns. You can have pattern stairs, because why not? Alright, there we go. Oh, it's my bad that I hooked that up, and then this is just too comical. Alright. Stairs tool supports patterns. There we go. Alright, so that one's done. Dramaxer says, will the removal of wood requirements for be for scaffolding only, or scaffolding and ladders? And if the latter, what are your thoughts on manually built ladders? I feel they should still have a wood requirement. So there's a part of me that's like, I don't know how this will turn out, but I would like to test it, because I think build ladder adjacent action. Because we also have problems with a lot of new players where they'll dig a hole in the ground and then their people are stuck. And it's like, how... The easiest way to get them out of the ground is to build a ladder. But the Earthlings are also, you know, Earthlings aren't the smartest in the world. If you tell them to mine something and then you put down a stockpile, people will restock the stockpile. And they'll go and try to pick up the loot that is dropped from mining. And if they walk down and they try to pick something up and then this worker finishes mining everything, then they will be stuck. Oh, look at that. That worker is busted because that worker has the wrong That worker has the wrong outfit. So we need to specify worker. So I made a change earlier earlier today to make overriding worker descriptions easier, or overriding job descriptions easier for different factions. So you no longer have to specify in both the population file and the index file. You just specify everything in the index file. And the problem that results from that is showing up right now. It looks like I caused a bug where your worker will, the Rise children workers now have the ascendancy outfit. So yeah, now they're stuck, right? And it's like, what do? How do you get them out? You try to build a ladder, but what if there's no wood? Yeah, and then you happen to have a cook that was outside and could build you a ladder. But if you didn't have any logs, and if everybody was stuck in this hole, then everyone's stuck, right? And it's really hard to actually mine out stairs. That's another thing I want to work on. But in the meantime, being able to build a ladder instead is incredibly useful. And if the ladder costed nothing, it would make things a lot easier. Okay, let's read the chats. Hyrule Symbol says, I really need patterns on stairs. Oh, I'm glad that will happen soon. So now I want to see this build ladder action. It's a compound action where you go find a ladder and then you try to pick up a wood resource. So you no longer need to go to a wood resource. You'll just go to the ladder filter and then you build ladder adjacent. Yes. And then in build ladder adjacent, builder get material if you're not carrying, so you no longer need to do this. And then you no longer need to get carrying while not ladder is finished. We no longer need the fabricator perk. That's for when I was prototyping the architect. We grow ladder in that direction, and then where's the execution? Here it is. So turn to face ladder, execute. We still need the fabricate faster. Never mind. Fabricate faster. And then don't consume carrying. And we fabricate more. So let's see what happens here. Jermaxer says stair mining tool would be awesome. I think there have been quite a few people that have wanted the stair mining tool. Raya's children jobs index Stonehearth worker. Raya's children jobs worker. Sorry, I'm trying to fix the jobs outfit problem at the same time. Yay, Alex! Wait, no, that's the apprentice potter. Master potter. Stop. You're There's too many people in here. Are you a worker? Yes. Okay, now the workers look correct. Good job, workers. So let's cancel those tasks. And let's build a ladder. And now he's just gonna go build. There we go. Yay! And now it requires no resources. And then we want the tear down ladder to adjacent to be like to not create a carry. So we don't create the oak log ever. While not ladder is finished, tear down, shrink the ladder, and then tear down ladder action. Let's make sure it doesn't have carry. Drop carrying now. So you always drop what you're carrying, and you go to the ladder, you reserve the ladder, you tear down the ladder. Okay, let's test this one. Alright, make that ladder. Tear down the ladder. Someone else goes to tear it down. Great! Yeah, and it gives you nothing. JJ Shab says, does this work for ladders indefinitely or just in the beginning of the game? We were thinking that maybe it'll work for ladders indefinitely. I mean, there is the problem with it not being like super realistic, etc. But I do think there's like a balance between realism and also ease of use. So like if I were gonna build the studio here, can I build it? Yeah, so I need 2 wood logs to build it. And I need a bunch of clay bricks, which we can also fix. We can make it so that they automatically cube clay bricks. I think this was something that Brad was like, oh my god, please make them do this because it's awful. No, I did not want clay pile, I wanted clay bricks. Joe Maxer says stair mining tool would be awesome. And also architects care to share more. I'm not really quite sure where I left off with it. Or I can remember slightly where I left off with it. I think the biggest problem I had was that I needed more time to figure out the fabrication stuff. But for me, what I wanted to do was make building faster. So I wanted the architect to first of all be able to build multiple blocks at a time, and if I can cut down the amount of time needed to build a building by like more than 50% if you had an architect, that would be what I want to do with it. Surendra says, for stairs out of dirt, what if you had a modified mining block that would carve out stairs from above? Have a mining template. Yeah, a mining template. That would be interesting, like if you save mining templates. I would like to be able to add another button here, but that would actually stretch this out maybe we would want an actual mining section in addition to, like, you know, like a fighting one, except it would be mining. So I think I want to wait until I meet, you know, until Richard starts, because I'm sure Richard would have a lot of insights and also ideas on what he wants to do with the whole mining is difficult thing. Okay, what are they out of? I think they're out of clay. Why did you stop building? You out of wood? Is that why? Ah, they're out of wood. Why can't you pick this one up? Alright, so now they're building this house. Joe Maxwell says, Pathfinder question, why does another Earthling tear the ladder down when someone is right next to it? Seems very inefficient. So, it's more like an AI question, right? Because the Earthlings are very aggressively thinking. It's like if you had nothing to do and someone else just finished doing something, that person's gonna be like, man, I just finished doing something. And then the other person who had nothing to do immediately goes, oh my god, I couldn't figure out what to do, and now suddenly there's a job, so I'm gonna be the first one to do it. And then the person next to the tree is like, oh, you said you got this. Alright then, you get to tear it down. Jamaxer says they still seem to be holding wood when building scaffolding, unless it's moving too fast and it's actually clay bricks. So they are holding wood when building scaffolding. I only modified the task for building ladders. So they still need it for scaffolding. I will fix up scaffolding in a bit. Come on, everybody. Oh man, they're all really hungry. It takes a long time to build this building. It's like 2 days now. So let's see what happens if we stop scaffolding from also needing wood. And the way to do that is scaffolding project wood scaffolding. This is probably going to yield a lot of results, but scaffolding is probably hard-coded to take a wood resource, and we want to remove that hard-coded wood resource. So scaffolding project complete, tear down region, scaffolding fabricator, add component scaffolding fabricator, restore scaffolding. Scaffolding is built using our fabrication process, so it's different from ladders, because when you make a ladder, it's built using the AI actions of build ladder adjacent and tear down ladder adjacent, and scaffolding is built like houses are built, if I recall correctly. So it's more like go to this shape, figure out how to add another region to this shape, etc. Let's see if there's any hard-coded wood resources in our Lua. So fuel material, there's a default fuel material. Maybe it's this one with the default resource material. Nope. So how does scaffolding work? Let's try it again with a little clay house, and we'll click on the scaffolding. and then we can figure out from there how the scaffolding is built. So clay brick, clay bricks. Hello Kill says no scaffolding ladder required but a higher building cost. Yeah, we could look into a building costing more resources. Because of we no longer need as much for because we would no longer need as much for scaffolding. That is one possibility. Let's look here. So it has a construction data, fabricator entity, fabricator, materials, wood resource. Okay. So default wood color, default stone color, wood resource, wood resource. So what makes it so that scaffolding uses a wood resource? Let's look at the scaffolding object, scaffolding.json. So construction data, material, I see. So what if I had the construction data component, material, get material, construction data, yeah, so it should be in this construction data component, self.sv.material, material equals nil, get material, what if I just delete this? Does it actually mean anything? Let's try it. And now, oh right, I need to remove this thing. Little clay house. Hello Killser says have a higher recourse cost for both as a modifier for hard mode. That is also possible. Man, people really want hard mode to stay hard. I think that's also a question of like, why do we want hard mode to be hard, right? Like, do we want hard mode to be difficult in terms of combat, or do we want it to be difficult in terms of everything? I mean, it is completely possible that we could say, why not hard mode? It only means hard for hard mode is only hard because it has more difficult monsters. I think that's the way it works right now, and it kind of works. What is the no material tag? Okay, maybe the material could be no material. So that definitely made it upset. Create scaffolding from scaffolding.lua, create fabricator component, create material proxies, fabricator component, create material proxies. So in order to get the resource material, if resource material blueprint construction data, get material. So why is this an error? It says it couldn't index the field color region, a no value. Alright, well let's see if putting in no material fixes this. Sleeposaurus says, is hard mode going to be any less impossible for RC? That's a good question. I am aware of the difficulties, I think I'm gonna stop being the Raya's Children Potter test, because the Potter test is not as good for quickly testing things as the build test is. Halo Kills says, I think RC should get one sword at the beginning. Maybe we can change the... Yeah, I mean, it is difficult if you don't get a sword at the beginning. But is that difficult because we don't message well enough that you should get a sword at the beginning? Because there's also peaceful mode, right? Like, you technically don't need a sword at the beginning. It's just that in hard mode, it's impossible to do it without, or it's very difficult to do it without the sword. Halo Kills, or have Cotter craft a clay sword. RC should get clay practice sword or something. Yeah, the other thing I was thinking of is maybe the initial trader could be buffed up a little bit. So if I make shed, I hope you're gonna compile this time. Good job. So the other thing we could do, oh geez, you're gonna be in a different place. So the shed likes to spawn in a weird place. Windows, move, off screen. You right click, you say move. I think that will fix it. Right click. Nope. Shift right click. Move here. Okay, the other way to fix this was to go to my user files, update a logo, Stonehearth editor. What if I just deleted both of these? What would you do then? Try Windows key plus left arrow. There we go. Oh, that's right. It's a weird place to be. I think the monitors on this computer are constantly shifting locations or something. So, one thought I've had is that the Trader campaign for Raya's Children is very scripted right now, where you get the Iskander caravan the first day, and all it has is these 4 things. Whereas I think that you can just jump straight to Iskander Caravan Day 2 or even Caravan Day 3, because I think having the talismans show up immediately would be pretty useful. Yeah, so those are just thoughts I have. So Allie and Linda are actually looking into Raya's Children for Alpha 19. So they will probably have, they are well aware of the issues you have starting out as Raya's Children, and Allie has a lot of ideas. She doesn't want Raya's Children to just be like the Ascendancy, except she doesn't want it to just be Ascendancy with a skin. She definitely wants it to be different. So we'll see what their brainstorming comes up with. Probably soonish. So I'm gonna look at it's very hard to remove a resource material. from a project. So let's run it again. I think what I want to do is not specify material. Where was that no material? It was in town. Town had a no material tag, which says no material. And no one looks for that. So if I built a tiny house, the thing I'm working on right now is there is an exception that happens when they try to build a scaffolding, because they're like, there's no such thing as no material scaffolding. We've never had to build something without a material. And I mean, that's a valid complaint. Attempt to add index BP, a no value. So attempt to index field color region, a no value. And this is under Fabricator component 583, create material proxies. So Fabricator component line 3, create material proxies. What line is this? 583. 583, so it goes through the color region each cube. And there is no color region. And there's probably no color region because there is a resource material. And if you create a proxy for that resource material, right, so maybe we do need to have this happen. Sorry, I keep going back and forth on this because it's like, what's the proper thing to do? Is the proper thing to do to have this have a wood resource material, or to have this have a material and have that material be no material? Right? And so if it is no material, then what happens? Then we need to set the material of that. So what's the error message that happens if we have it set to no material? Hero symbol says, how about giving them a bargain to trade, a button at the bottom of the trade UI that when pressed will decrease the price for an item in that one specific trade and can only be reused once a trade. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I can ask Linda and Ali about that one. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that would make it very Rise Children-esque. Sarandar says you could also start Rise Children. Fabricate structure action. Args material. Yeah, okay, so this is better. I like this one. The problem here is that it doesn't know about how to have no material, so constants material would build construct building score encounters hydrology attributes. There's a building one here, patrol crafting, construction brushes, no material. I want to make this a constant. So that everyone can reference it. So instead of town going no material, so if it does not equal Stonehearth dot constants dot construction dot no material, there we go. Now everyone can reference that. And then in the fabricate structure adjacent, fabricate structure action. Okay. Filter should work on fabricator material proxy. then the fabricate structure action line 24. Fabricate 4 args material, and it says bad format to argument number 2 to format. Why would that be the case? Pickup item made of args material. Right. So we don't actually want this, because this fabricate structure is actually bad. So the teardown. So there's actually a teardown structure action, which has a material of no material. But there's no fabricate. Fabricate cannot handle having no material. Stonehearth says you can also start writers charting out with some raw gold as an initial resource they get from the beginner settler event, since they are the merchants and such. I find it funny when RC in desert with lots of clay to be dug and the trader wants to sell clay at skyrocket prices. I have seen that as well. RC could have more consistent and frequent traders with better prices as a passive, and AC could have a crafter craft speed passive, and then they could have a combat passive. Yeah. Pimworld LV says that is only one perk versus the 2 perks of Ascendancy. What 2 perks are you speaking about? Dramaxer says, what is that red flag in the lower right corner? So this red flag is part of our dev tools. So it is something that you can use to immediately file a bug. It's actually not currently working right now because we stopped using Redmine as our bug filing location. So this thing is a little bit obsolete right now, but it is only for us developers. Actually, mostly Brad. Brad uses this to file bugs in the game. It'll automatically take like a screenshot and like upload it to a server somewhere. Alright, back to what this thing is. So I can't fabricate something that is no material, and I'm probably trying to create that task with the arguments. Okay, so I think what I need to do then is, instead of doing this fabricate structure, I need to create a new one. I'm gonna put this under a new folder because I hate building structures. I hate this UI actions folder because it's so long. Look at how many actions there are, and we can definitely organize them better. So rename this to fabrication. And then we'll go here, will be like fabricate free structure action. So this will be fabricate free structure, fabricate structure. We don't need a material because we don't. and then we'll rename this to refabricate restructure. I think mostly I just want to, I'm doing this to test it out. I don't necessarily need to make this the best because it'll be for prototyping. We tear down should work for material approximating material, local args material, tear down structure. Who asks for tear down structure? So tear down structure is just a thing without materials. Okay. Who has no material actually? Set requested task. Set requested build task. Use the same infrastructure, magic no material flag, which means don't have any material args. Ladder builder. Mining zone. Interesting. So I'm trying to see if it's using okay. I think this one will still have the args then. But the args won't do anything. Like this. And then it'll be like tear down structure. Yeah, actually what I want to do is make this more like tear down structure. Instead of tear down structure, it's called fabricate free structure. And fabricate free structure. Then we don't need to drop carrying. Actually, no, we should probably do drop carrying. And then where's fabricate structure adjacent? Fabricate free structure. Fabricate structure action. You want to fabricate structure adjacent. Back 4, destination point of interest. Okay. Yeah, I think this will work. So when we do tear down ladder, we need to look at the we have tear down structure, fabricate structure, fabricate free structure. Under build. Let's Make Friends says, I haven't been able to put the game down since I bought it last week. Yay! I am glad. It's always really encouraging to have people playing the game and giving us feedback. and even more fun when people like it. Town 1259. No materials not declared. Right, because I changed it to be a constant. Excuse me. Set request task. Maxer says, what did you switch to from Redmine? We switched to hang on. We switched to what do you call it? We switched to Jira, and it's working out okay so far. We're manually filing everything, but it's working out, I would say. I need to open up Dakota because I want to debug why or who calls start new build tasks and leads us to the exception that we're seeing. So obviously the problem is that the info mode is called Fabricate Structure. Who calls Fabricate Structure? Someone calls Fabricate Structure with no material. Start new build tasks. Active tasks. Build tasks. So start new build tasks with active tasks. Compute active build tasks for each material in build task requests. Set request build task. Update build tasks. Entity ID mode. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, and this is not the best thing ever. So we set requested build task here in Fabricator component. Jira proxies, materials, table to string, materials, update build mode for entity, materials, for each material, current mode, material. Okay, so I got it now. So the easiest way to do this might be that if no material, local no material equals false, no material is true, if no material and task info activity task and info mode equals fabricate structure. Then local activity equals task info activity mode equals fabricate structure, and activity equals fabricate structure free. Okay, so I don't need this. The activity equals fabricate structure free. This is not the best it's not the best way to do it, but it will get us a good prototyping of it. And then we want to save this as fabricate structure free instead of fabricate free structure, just to be consistent with the naming. And then we want to add this in shed. So manifest, refresh, we go to aliases, we add an alias, AI, actions, fabrication, Lua files, fabricate structure free, we want to delete this. And hopefully there's other fabricate structure, fabricator, AI actions, fabricate structure, construction, fabricate structure free. There we go. So now everybody that can construct a free structure. Could not load action script at Stonehearth actions. Oh, yeah, because it's not Stonehearth actions fabricate structure free. It's Stonehearth actions fabrication. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit not in sync with the other ones, but we can change that later. Joe Maxer says, what did you switch? No, not what did you switch to? What prompted you to leave Redmine? Was it something not working? So it's because Riot uses Jira more, and we were also considering using Jira for our sprint planning and all of that stuff. So if we're gonna put everything in one place, then you know it's better to have everything in one place. So we thought about switching our bugs to that as well. Fabricate structure, action, start thinking. String expected got nil. Okay, so this one definitely seems like something we would want to look at. Fabricate structure action. Actually, we want a new one in there as well. So make Dakota project. Sleepy Sheeposaurus said, how sleepy was it recently changed? The autobug reporter tool was lagging my game really bad about a month ago. So we're talking about this in-game tool thing, so that shouldn't be released to players. So hopefully you don't actually the lagging you experienced was not from that. So, I mean, we didn't actually change out of it. It's still there, but players shouldn't be exposed to our bug filing in the backend. I mean, we do have an auto crash reporter, so I guess that one could be laggy. That one is some other instance, I forget where we put it, for grabbing everyone's crash reports. Come on, Dakota. Load up that game. Info.mode. Sleepersaurus says, oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, so the crash reporter, we did switch it to, I think we switched it to a different machine. So it's quite possible that the new machine, sometimes they need to be kicked a little bit, you know, to be like, hey, get back to work. We have that problem with our build machine sometimes, where it decides it's in a bad state. But in general, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that unhappy. Okay, let's run this game. Excuse me. Sleepy Shibasaurus says, I remember when I was getting a lot of bad lag out of nowhere and someone on Discord suggested turning off auto crash reporter and the lag went away. Have you tried turning it back on lately to see if it still causes a lot of lag? I would be curious about that, because previously turning off the auto crash reporter in the settings, there was actually a bug where it didn't actually turn it off. So I'm very curious as to what could be causing the lag issues. I do know we have lag issues in the game, so believe me, I believe you that there is lag. I just want to pinpoint where the lag is coming from. Build mode is fabricate structure. Oh, oops, silly me. I forgot to put this activity over here. Alright, let's see what happens now. I don't like running the game from Dakota because Dakota makes it very slow. Usually if you have a debugger, the debugger is having to do some like injection of code so that it can properly keep track of which line you're compiling, and that makes things go slower. Yes, please, if you can try it out, that would help a lot. That made it so they didn't fabricate anything. So now we have to run it in the coder again. Sadness. Hi, Bob Jones. We are trying to make scaffolding be free to build instead of costing wood. Mad science is afoot. It's not that mad of a science, but it is a test, right? Like, I don't know if this will be the best thing for the game, but I am willing to try it out. we got some suggestions about it from several people, so I think it's worth testing out if so many people are giving us the same feedback. Sleepy Shipasaurus says, is there a way to display frame rate in the game? Oh yeah, press Alt. Hello? Maybe I don't have debug keys enabled. If you have debug keys enabled, you can press Alt. I forget how to enable debug keys. It's one of the config options in your user settings. Alright, and now it'll take forever to put down this building. And then I'll build it. And then the material is task info, fabricate structure, info material. Oh my god, I did this wrong. I'm sorry. No material. It's true. No material is plus. See, it says if it does not equal no material. I feel ashamed of that. Dumb bug. Yeah, I mean, we can make this change and then make the wood logs have less stacks in them, so that it will still require like a similar number of logs to build a house. Hopefully it'll just be a lot faster to build a house because they don't need to like... Nope! Still... Oh, fabricate structure. Free action. Line 23. Line 23. Free for material. And then I guess I don't actually want... So the problem is if material is nil, then the game will be unhappy because a nil material would break the format, because it'll be like, oh, you don't actually have two why would it have no player ID? That's kind of crazy. String expected got nil. Well, let's see if this makes it better. It might be very unhappy with this description though. Let's see. Sleeposaurus says, anyone know how to turn on debug keys? I think debug keys should be in your options. Debug. Hang on. It's a C++ thing. Sleepy Superstore says, in that case, maybe an FPS viewer would be something to implement that's easier to access. Yeah, I mean, we can take a look at doing that. Maybe it's something I can ask Linda to see if she can put it in there. Debug. Enable debug keys. So put it in here and be like, enable debug keys. True. And that. Here, I'll launch it again. Tamar LW says the detonation fills the hole back up. Yeah, at some point we'll actually have like manual filling up of holes, but because we did add building removal back in, and that meant if you do remove your buildings, you're gonna get a lot of ugly scars. is the material? We decided to, in the interim, automatically fill up the scars for you. We may choose to keep it if people decide like, yeah, this is the best way. This is what I would expect when a building blows up. But eventually, we will have an actual dirt tool. Yeah, they can actually, I think you get nothing from digging up the top layer. If I'm correct. Or like digging just the top layer of the dirt, which is called grass, I think, yields very little. Okay, so then they stopped building because they needed to build the scaffolding and they didn't know how to do it. So why didn't they know how to do it? We'll figure that out by having 3 workers. And we'll build this house again, and then we'll figure out why the 3 workers could not build our house. The Timo says, digging grass yields nothing. Oh, hey, the Timo. I actually stopped by your stream the other day. I saw that you were making a giant dinosaur head. At least I think it was a dinosaur head. It's pretty cool. Alright, so they should have an action called fabricate free structure. And we'll figure out why they're not fabricating free structure. Tear down, fabricate structure, material key, fabricate structure, build ladder. Maybe this is a problem with the player task groups where there is no, there's a building. Go. Fabricate structure. Fabricate structure free will have a priority of 6? No, 5. 5 is good. And then probably somewhere in town is actually creating all of these task groups. Timo says sent you the save file of that town to check it out. Cool. Is that the only structure in that town? Like it's only a giant dinosaur head? There's no like sweet buildings? I mean that's cool, but just wondering. Nope. Still no structure. Still no free structure building. So why is that? Let's see if we can find it. Tear down ladder, free time. Place item on structure, tear down ladder. Harvest resource. Restock storage, clear item, upgrade equipment, build ladder, fabricate structure free, drop carrying now, find path to entity type. It cannot find path to entity type where we say should work on fabricator material proxy. Get component material proxy, get material does not equal expected material. Okay, so now we need the coda again. Because we need fabricate structure free to have this material filter, and the filter is not returning true for anything on the ground. The Gmo says there's a problem with the skull. They can't build the whole thing. They get to a certain point and then give up. So probably it's a. It looked like it was all slab, so they might have had problems with the having that much slab. Which is something we haven't stress tested, so I'm not surprised it's broken. I mean, we should definitely fix it, but there's times when I'm just not surprised when something is broken. Sleepy Shivasaurus says, I loaded up the game with crash reports, getting noticeable lag between pressing a key and game actually carrying it out. Only have 7 Earthlings and no buildings. Interesting, and you're saying you don't get that lag without it. That's difficult. Why did this start thinking not happen? Okay, here we go. And the key is fabricate structure free, clear 1. So now we do step to the next line. If not material, what's the material? And we pass in the filter function. Cool. And then should we work on material item clear ID material? Material is nil. So material is nil when we create this action, and material is nil when we create the action because we probably do args.material equals info dot args.material will equal no material. Okay, so now the args will be filled in, the material will actually exist. This is actually probably a problem for the build ladder stuff too, or the tear down ladder. Wait, no, tear down ladder is fine. Tear down structure? Yeah, tear down structure has a material. Oh, I guess it's the material of the, I guess it would be the material of the structure we're tearing down, so it would be tear down wood? Sleeper source is only with the setting on, I don't understand it. The Timo says, I sent you the file. Cool, I will take a look at it. Still broken. So let's take a look again. We'll run it from Dakota again. Dakota is slow, but that's okay. Hillkill says slow the refresh time. You mean of the crash reports? Not actually sure if the crash reports has a refresh time. It's more like you run with the thing that is constantly checking, or it's not constantly checking. You run with a wrapper that checks if an exception is thrown that would cause your game to crash. And if an exception is thrown that would cause your game to crash, we then, at that point, send it off to a remote server. So I guess it would actually depend on what it's actually a Google crash reporter thing, so it would depend on like what Google's crash reporting Oh, no, it is not tear down. We want fabricate. Fabricate adjacent should have the fabricate flag. So fabricate structure action should also have fabricate. There we go. That might fix it. Hero symbol says, do we have a fix for flickering fog of war? Real pain in the eye when it's touching a cliff. I've seen that as well, the Z fighting. I think I'm mostly waiting for Chris to get off of his, to finish up his current thing, which is actually a performance improvement for camps. Because he's doing a dang it, I have to run this from the code up every time because he's doing a performance improvement whereby we can determine quickly whether you can actually path from one place to another, so we don't spend time running the Pathfinder when we know we have no solution. Gigi Shab says, do you know what the gate is in the auto test and when we're going to get it? Yeah, it's a bronze portcullis. And it currently does not work because we don't have the animations to make it go up and down. The default animation for doors goes sideways, so it would be broken in the game. But as soon as we get the animations for it actually going up and down when a Earthling passes through it, then we can ship it out to everybody. The Timo says, will the erase tool ever be able to erase walls and freestanding walls? Yes, I would like for it to be able to do that. Definitely freestanding walls, and also other walls as well. I think what we really want to do is figure out what should be erasable, and what shouldn't be. 11, just step in. Material, proxy, entity, column. Okay. Wall, floor, column, wall, fab, wall fab. Wood resource material for wall fab. So let's look for item, and eventually it will become a scaffolding, hopefully. What is this project? No material proxy. Project again. No material for scaffolding fab. Yay! Material, great. Fabricator, get build mode is great. Okay, so we can fabricate the scaffolding. Maybe then the problem is in fabricate structure adjacent because we're not actually carrying anything. Fabricator get material. If material is not the, so we have to check that the material is not the construction no material constant. And if the material is something and we're not carrying it, then we can't carry the material. It moved to next available block. Self dot no material equals self.material equals this thing. If no material, if not no material. That's unfortunate, but I'll let it go. If not material and not carrying, so and then if not no material, then so we only need to get the carrying if we need to. Timo says I would prefer it to be 8x8 or 8x9 so it would fit into a mine hole. Oh, you mean the portcullis? I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. The thing with the gate? This thing? I'm not sure how big it is. It is, I guess right now it's 6x6. I think having different size gates would be cool. There we go. Yeah. Free scaffolding. Let's see, did they actually run the effect? Yes, I think they did run the effect, right? Oh, it is 6 wide. It is not 8 tall right now. Although I don't know if that's because it's... Let's see. Bronze. Portals. There you go. Yeah, see the default, So, how big are you? Collisions. Yeah, it is 6x6 right now. But do they take it down? No! They can't take it down. Tear down structure action. Not Lua. No material. If no material, then if info mode equals fabricate structure, then the activity is this. Else if info mode equals tear down structure, args material equals no material. There we go. So let's try that again. Nope, I did something wrong. Also, Mr. Maxwell says I jinxed you. Build it. The roll symbol says I need to see it. Oh, you mean the bronze portcullis thing? It has no all the pieces fall to the ground because, or slide to the side because it doesn't have the correct default animations on it, which is why it's not released to the public yet. I think these are supposed to be bronze instead of wood. Oh, it's a lockable door. I think we intended for it to be made by the engineer. Just cause it says what, you did something wrong, never. Yeah, Linda was the one that initially made this one. I think it's pretty cool. Ali's got some excited ideas for Rise Children as well that I'm excited for. I am glad you all can be so excited by a single new item. It reminds me that I don't need to like write millions of lines of code to make this a good game. I could just have really cool items and stuff too. I don't know. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I just sometimes I forget how cool this game is because I'm staring at stuff like this every day. Okay, so yeah, they tore down the scaffolding and they're building this house. I think it was a little bit faster since they don't have to, you know, get rid of all the wood or pick up wood to build it. But anyway, there you go. Now the ladders are free. And go tear down the scaffolding. I guess the two of them are like, whatever. Let's hang out by the fire. And there's just this one guy working on it. Yeah, I like watching them build too. Pick up the logs. The logs left on roofs. You know, I wonder if that's ever a problem in real life. I'll have to ask Michael Handy about that. Oh no, they decided not to tear these ones down. I'll have to ask Chris about it. Oh wait, no. No, they started again. I guess they just really wanted to admire the fire for a little bit. You think the scaffolding is still giving wood? Oh, you're right! Tear down structure action. Tear down structure adjacent. Carry. Get carrying. Carrying resources. Material. Resource URI equals oak log. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check that out later, I think. For the moment, that is something I can fix. It is 7:45 and I kind of need to get home. But I think this is pretty good so far. And I don't know, what do you guys think? I think I kind of like it. It doesn't detract too much from the actual building. And having free ladders would make things a lot easier for new players. Just cause Setso says us carpenters never leave anything on the roof of a job. Sleepy Sleepersaurus says, you think it'd fall off since roofs are very sloped in real life. This is true, but they're also kind of, like, the friction on them, I can see, like, the shingles allowing for certain things to stay up there. Oak logs are also round in real life, so they would roll. I think our entire game is just based on the fact that nothing would ever roll because nothing ever has the shape that would allow it to roll. And Timo says, feel free to stop by the stream tonight. I will try to do that. Thank you. But I'm gonna go home first and feed my dog. And probably walk him. He needs a walk. Pretty bad. Sleepy Shibasaur says it'll probably come off when it rained. Yeah. This is Stonehearth. Surrender says, I think you should keep adding things for normal and potentially re-add scaffolding and ladder costs for hard mode. Yeah, I will keep that in mind. That's good feedback. I think this is something where we're gonna keep playing with it, you know, play by ears, and roll it out to all of you to see what you think about it as well. Alright, well, that will be the end of the stream for me. I need to get home. It is late. Broken Bronze Portuguese. Hopefully we can get that out to you guys soon too. Mally is in the middle of like an animation migration right now, so he hasn't had time to make animations because he's trying to fix our pipeline. So hopefully after he's done with this, we'll be able to get animations out faster to everyone, including this crazy door thing. Alright, have a good rest of the evening, everyone, or morning if that's where you are right now, and I will talk to you all next week.